More than a year and a half after someone stole her from her owner, a little dog named Laurie is finally home in Sevierville.
10 News reporter Shannon Smith explains how that pup is back where she belongs, all thanks to a microchip.
Laurie? Oh my gosh, you're so skinny.
Tatiana Kalinina and her dog Laurie saw each other Tuesday for the first time since someone stole Laurie last May. The Sevierville woman searched for her dog for a year and a half.
I was honestly somewhat losing hope, and people were telling me that she gonna be back, but it's a really long time.
The last call she was expecting to get this week came from an animal clinic outside Birmingham, Alabama.
Said that they found her. I couldn't believe. I started crying.
Someone saw scruffy Laurie wandering alone and took her to the shelter.
Oh, poor thing.
She's been through a lot and doesn't look like her old self.
She almost lost half of her weight. She lost one tooth. She's missing a lot of fur. But, we're working on it, so she's eating a lot.
Shelter staff scanned Laurie for a microchip and found one. The tiny chip, the size of a grain of rice, was loaded with all of Tatiana's contact information and inserted under Laurie's skin years ago.
It's a microchip, so if not that, 4 hours away from here, someone even posts something that they found a stray, I would not know that.
Tatiana hopes all pet owners will keep their hopes up that dogs do come back home, but it's only possible because of the microchip.
It is a miracle. For me, it's a miracle, and it's all by microchip. I'm really glad I did that.
In Sevierville, Shannon Smith, 10 News.
Such a happy ending to the story. If your pet does not have a microchip, Young Williams Animal Center provides that service for just $15 per animal.
Watch that story. That's the only convincing you need. It's money well spent.
Absolutely.
For sure.